So I guess you could call this movie a cross between Orange is the New Black and Tremors. At least I think that's how it would like to be described. Now this one is directed by B-movie legend Jim Warnitsky and is called SHARKANSAS Women's Prison Massacre. Bit of a tongue twister there. And it's a 2016 kind of tongue-in-cheek shark movie along the lines of Two-Headed Shark, things like that. It's not quite the same kind of spoofy levels as you've seen in kind of movies like Sharknado, but it ain't far away. Now, the plot of this one is we have a group of very glamorous kind of female prisoners, and they're out doing some kind of work detail in the kind of the swamp somewhere in Arkansas with a couple of guards, basically. And there happens to be these kind of mutated sharks that seem to be swimming in like an inch deep of water. And however, they find out that these things can actually swim through land as well, and basically attack these prisoners, send them on a run with the remaining prison guards. And along that you have FBI agents, one played by Traci, kind of tracking them down and seeing what's up. So that's pretty much the movie. It really kind of plays like the film Tremors. These kind of sharks cutting through land are obviously sensing vibrations and things like that. So it really does play like that movie. Although it clearly doesn't make as much sense as Tremors, to be honest with you. So what's good and what's bad about this movie? Well, let's talk about the negatives first of all. Of course, this is a B movie. Things don't make sense. You just have to accept them for what they are, unfortunately. So if you're going to kind of nitpick, that wouldn't happen, this wouldn't happen, that's stupid, this is stupid, I wouldn't watch this movie because clearly it's all stupid. But there you go. The actual plot itself, you know, will get picked apart in seconds. But anyway, we'll kind of skip past that bit. Other negative things, talk about the effects. The effects are a mixed bag, and I'll come on to them again in my kind of positives, but there are some odd choices of visual effects here. For example, we see the kind of like dismembered body parts, and they've clearly been added in just post-production via CGI. I don't know why you wouldn't have just prosthetics for kind of limbs and things like that. I do have a theory about this film, which I'll come on to in a minute. So some of the effects are kind of questionable here. Some are good, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Obviously the acting here, not the best. The line delivery, not the best. The dialogue, also super cheesy, as you'd expect, basically. So there you go, pretty much. And you know, the other thing I would say here is this film, I think, has been hodgepodge together from two separate kind of shoots. So the bulk of the story featuring these prisoners, I think probably was a little bit too short. So what I think they've done is they've had some new footage added later on from Traci Lords and her partner, who you never actually see online with on the same screen as any of the other cast, basically. And they have they're on their the trail and stuff. They do their own thing. So I feel these scenes were probably shot afterwards and added to it to kind of bulk up the running time, and maybe add sort of Traci Lords as an additional name here. Who I have to say, Traci Lords looks fantastic. So her character and her partner's character are pretty much peripheral. They really don't have any impact on the plot whatsoever. It really is just the pad out the running time. On the positives here, if you like the old sort of Russ Meyer movies, the exploitation movies, you're going to like this film. This very much reminds me of those classic eras. All the the female prisoners here are way too made up and you know, wearing the little denim shorts and tight tank tops and stuff. Clearly ridiculous, but obviously you're probably not watching this for a realistic portrayal of the lives of female inmates. But nonetheless, obviously a good bit of eye candy for all you guys and girls out there. So the cars are actually quite fun, I have to say. There was quite an interesting group of characters here, and I actually found the characters, although somewhat cliche, they are somewhat fun as well, and played with tongue-in-cheek. Some better than others, to be honest with you. So I did like that. The only guy who really takes it seriously is the older of the guards here, who plays it pretty straight, to be honest with you, and makes it quite a good leading man, I have to say. Now, I said I'd mention the effects here. I actually think the shark effects are actually quite good. There are a few scenes where they look a bit ropey, but I would say for the most part, where we see the sharks like the fins coming through the water and the dirt actually don't look too bad, I have to say. There are some shots here where the CGI looks pretty good, and this kind of comes in to my theory again, where the body parts which are in the Traci Lord scenes look like really poor CGI. That just, again, it makes me think these things were kind of shot later and these kind of bits were just added in because the CGI is so much worse on those bits. So it's kind of fun. It really does. It reminds me so much of Tremors. If you like Tremors and you kind of want a B-movie version, I have to say this is arguably better than some of the Tremors sequels, at least I would say. But obviously a much more sort of tongue-in-cheek and cheesy version of it with sharks rather than graboids. So if you're a fan of the kind of the women prison movies, you're a fan of Russ Meyer movies, you're a fan of Tremors movies, you may want to check this one out. It's kind of fun. I actually quite enjoyed it, I have to say. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.